Part 2. And then we get a segment between Teddy Long and Vince McMahon as Teddy Long's night goes from bad to worse. Vince McMahon's dressed like John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever, and he actually does do a bit of dancing, but unfortunately it's not disco. Teddy Long had previously said he was the longest reigning GM in WWE history, and Vince McMahon says that may be true, but you haven't actually done anything. Next match is the Clones versus Legacy. Well, that's what it's supposed to be anyway. Even this crowd don't pop for the Clones, so I guess just no one likes the Clones except me. And of course no one cares about Legacy. Then Teddy Long shows up, and of course he's trying to think outside the box. He's trying to push the envelope. He's trying to do some blue sky thinking, all those sort of things. And he's made the management decision to make this a triple threat match, which is the only thing you could do to make the crowd care about this match, actually. And he introduces the tag team who will be facing these two, and it's Edge and Chris Jericho. That was great. I really liked this. It was much better than the match. Starts off, Legacy and the Clones throw Edge and Jericho out of the ring, and basically Legacy and the Clones just have the tag match they would have had without Edge and Jericho. And the story is that Edge and Jericho keep trying to tag themselves into the match, which was actually kind of funny, but the crowd hated it. They really hated it because they wanted to see Edge and Jericho. They didn't give a shit about the Clones and Legacy, which is fair enough. The fans also chanted, "We want Christian," which I enjoyed. Things I noticed, Primo is actually really very good. I have my doubts about him occasionally, but he is really very good. He does a cool leg sweep, and then he does this nice leg drop. He does lots of cool stuff. Primo gets dominated over and over again, and there are these moments where Edge and Jericho get tagged in, but get tagged out instantly. This is actually the first one of these triple threat tag matches that I've ever seen work. You know how these things never usually work because it makes no sense why people would be tagging people from opposition teams. This one worked because Edge and Jericho were just tagging themselves in, then getting eliminated very quickly. But yeah, this was a very boring match except for that booking, which made it really fun to watch, actually. The end of the match comes when Primo throws DiBiase at the ring. I think he drop kicks him, and then Jericho comes over and codebreakers Primo, which leaves Rhodes, Carlito, and Edge. Edge is on the outside. Rhodes is pushed up against the turnbuckle by Carlito, and this is a great idea for a finish, but they took ages to execute it. I don't know if they hadn't planned it before or something. It just Edge didn't tag himself in quickly enough. Clearly they were discussing what spot they were going to do, but anyway, eventually Edge blind tags off Rhodes, and Carlito backstabbers Rhodes. He hasn't realised the tag's been made. The referee won't count. Edge spears Carlito, and Edge and Jericho are the tag champions. Glad the tag championships are on SmackDown now, and just glad to see Edge and Jericho generally. Then we have Randy Orton backstage with Rhodes and DiBiase. DiBiase's annoyed because all Randy Orton cares about is retaining the WWE title, and DiBiase says, "Man, I just ignored it when you kicked me in the head." And Randy Orton quite correctly goes, "Well, maybe you shouldn't have done that then, you idiot." But yeah, DiBiase walks off in a huff, and Cody Rhodes goes to calm him down. Then we have Melina versus Michelle McCool. McCool, of course, accompanied by the Fox Factor, as Grisham dubs her. This was really disappointing, actually. I was quite looking forward to this match. I thought this could be really good, but it really wasn't. Melina was trying to convey the fact that she hated Michelle McCool, so she was being really aggressive. But the Divas just look so sloppy anyway that I'd rather they just slow things down and look a bit more technical, because these two can wrestle, so it was kind of disappointing. But Melina was just, doing all this stuff and screaming really loudly, louder than Bobby's reviews, how they used to be. This was, the screaming was just ow. But anyway, yeah, this Todd Grisham also claims the Faith Breaker is Michelle McCool's patented finishing maneuver, and I was like, she would really struggle to get a patent on that move. But McCool works the leg in a pretty uninteresting way. The best thing McCool did was a spinning gutbuster. She just span Melina over and just gutbustered her. I thought that was really good. This gets better towards the end. Melina does a tornado face plant, and Alicia Fox puts Michelle McCool's foot on the ropes to break the count, which I didn't really get, because that move's not going to pin Michelle McCool. I mean, that didn't really make any sense. Melina goes for a finisher. She's on Michelle McCool's back. So I thought they're going to reverse this into the Faith Breaker and have McCool win that way. And I think they might have planned that spot, but it didn't work out, whatever. And McCool kicks Melina in the face for a 2 count, then hits the Faith Breaker for the win, and they play up the idea that Alicia Fox may have been the difference maker, etc., etc. Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk. Right. This feud is the ultimate example of subtle booking for me. Not the sort of in-your-face crappy booking you get on Raw with Triple H, you know, and Randy Orton, all that shit. Right? This is subtle booking. CM Punk constantly doing heelish things, but not being a heel, actually being a totally reasonable face when he explains his actions. And I was thinking on SmackDown when CM Punk delivered the GTS to John Morrison after their match, I was thinking, I really like this booking if Punk doesn't turn heel at the Bash, and he didn't turn heel at the Bash, therefore I really like that booking. I like what they were trying to do with this match. I just don't think Punk kicking the referee was the right way to go about it. It was just all a bit... It was all a bit confusing towards the end. But anyway, this was a fairly good match. I felt it got bogged down towards the end, but it was a fairly good match. They show a lot of signs for CM Punk. Some are pro CM Punk, some are anti CM Punk, just to show the mixed reaction. And then they announce the participants for this match, which I don't think they did in any other match, where they were just like CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, just to get CM Punk to get booed, basically. That was the whole idea behind that. Punk starts off, he shoves him into the corner, and he's behaving a bit heelishly. I noticed his strikes seemed a lot harder. He really seemed like he was just kicking the shit out of Jeff Hardy. Everything sounded like it hurt like hell, which of course is more a heelish way to do things. Punk gets the better of the early exchanges, although JR states the exact opposite. Then we go to the outside. Jeff Hardy hits a flying crossbody to the outside. Then he goes for poetry in motion using the stairs, and CM Punk just gets out of the way and he smacks into the barricade. Punk goes inside and he tells the referee something, and JR interprets it that he's telling the referee not to count. Todd Grisham's interpreting it that he's telling the referee to count faster. So the commentators are doing a really good job on this match. They're playing up the idea, is Punk a face, is he a heel, all the time, and I really like that. Hardy hits the Whisper in the Wind for 2. He then does his rubbish clotheslines things, his leg drop to the abdomen, just all his moves basically, his front suplex, all that. Goes for a swanton, and Punk rolls out of the ring and gets flying clotheslined off the apron. Then Punk does some great stuff. He does a beautiful roundhouse kick to the side of the face, and he does the running knee, which sounded brilliant this time, and a bulldog. Then Jeff Hardy just takes over this match and starts kicking the shit out of Punk, and Punk can't land anything, and Jeff Hardy's landing everything. He hits the Twist of Fate, and he hits the Swanton, and he pins CM Punk in the middle of the ring. And me and Bobby have been complaining about referees enforcing this rule that if you have your leg under the rope, then that breaks the 3 count. The reason they were probably doing it was because of this match. When CM Punk broke the 3 count, maybe accidentally, maybe that's what they're going for, by having his leg underneath the rope. So Jeff Hardy pins him, and you know the music plays, and then the referee stops it, restarts the match. So I expected him to restart the match and Punk just to GTS and get the win, but that never happened. Jeff Hardy came back, and once again, he was going for the Twist of Fate. Punk went for the GTS, and Jeff Hardy smashed Punk in the face, and then Punk was selling an eye injury, and I thought basically what was going to happen is Punk was going to sell an eye injury, Jeff Hardy was going to come towards him, and then he was going to roll him up for a victory. That would be the heelish way he'd win. I think that made slightly more sense than what happened, where Punk just roundhouse kicked the referee in the back, pretending he couldn't see, or not pretending, depending on your look at it. I don't know, I like the fact that they're trying to go subtle with this. I like the fact they're not turning Punk heel immediately. He's not doing it an overtly heelish thing. It could have been an accident. It might not have been. Everything's a shade of grey. But I'm just not sure I would have done it in that way. I'm not sure that was the best way. It just all looked a bit clumsy towards the end. The crowd were chanting, "This is bullshit." It wasn't bullshit, but it wasn't great either. So yeah, anyway, turn over to part 3, where I promise I'll finish this.